No doubt you'll be busy given the season's popularity, but would you spare just a moment to consider the familiarity of a story well known, rehearsed and oft told, a story that to some has grown stale and grown old? You'll know some parts well of that, I am certain, but come a bit closer and peek through the curtain. The shepherds and angels are characters well known, and the wise men on camels following a star that had flown from the east to a stable where it then came to rest, and Mary and Joseph no longer distressed, assured by the angel this was all in God's plan. No room at the inns meant it was there in a stand, meant for food for the cattle that their baby son lay among cow food and chicken poo mixed in with the hay. No crying, I doubt it, as the cold of night stung, but the babe wrapped up warm to his mother's breast clung. That's the story, so familiar we can recite it by rote, but read on in the pages, there's some more to note. See, Mary and Joseph, a good Jewish couple, knew if they breached protocol then there'd be trouble. So dutifully went to the temple, Jesus just 6 weeks old, and there found an old man waiting to behold the fulfillment of a promise made centuries ago, that God had a rescue plan that he would make known. Simeon, the man's name, a man of great patience, month after year passed, still trusting and waiting that his eyes would see the great plan rolled out. So entered Joseph and Mary, worn out, for a ritual, a passage, an ancient initiation. He broke into song with appropriate elation, for his eyes in that baby had seen God's salvation. That there in that flesh God's rescue plan thrilled, the promise fulfilled, Simeon's joy overspilled. His cry was his eyes had seen God's salvation. This baby, the promised light for the nation, the bringer of peace through reconciliation, the one who is hope for those who are strangers. Humanity's rescue started life in a manger. Simeon knew then his life's work was done. He'd waited and beheld God's very own Son, and saw the babe for who truly he was, Messiah, Saviour, Emmanuel, God with us. So Simeon departed in peace, no frustration, but this circles us round and poses a question. When you look at Jesus, who do you see? A myth, a cute card, a figure for a tree? Or will you, like Simeon, behold in this story the fullness of God, not diminished in glory, but wrapped in flesh, a step that feels brave, one who would one day give up life to the grave? See, this baby came with man to dwell, to feel and experience what words cannot tell, that this world's not as intended with its pain and its loss, the fallout of sin, the pang of its cost. So the manger years later gave way to the cross, and this baby, the God-man, would lay down his life in order to bring an end to our strife, to pay a debt, one not his own. God ripped apart, hung all alone, for the sin of us all, so that we could come in and know the freedom of forgiveness for sin. That we, like Simeon, wise men and the shepherds, might receive Christ as King and put pay to our efforts to earn our way into God's favour through our own goodness and our best behaviour, and trust in this babe, the one who would save, by ultimately triumphing over the grave. So this Christmas time, grab a seat, take a knee, and answer me this: in Jesus, who do you see?